Hello everybody, planning to dive into open beta of Diablo 4. I have some very essential tips for you. I played the beta and of course we're going to learn from my mistakes and some tips that I learned from other people's mistakes, and I kind of compiled many things here to help you out in your journey in the open beta of Diablo 4. So without further ado, let's begin. Now make sure you participate in events. The reason for that is not just when completing an event you're going to get XP, but also there are going to be lots of enemies in many of those events, and eliminating them will also get you lots of XP. And also make sure to do dungeons as well. Several reasons. First of all, they're going to have lots of enemies as well, which increases the chance you get a legendary drop and of course get more XP. They have kind of end boss fights, which have a good chance to drop legendaries. And of course, it's really fun just, having this type of activity in Diablo 4. So make sure not to miss this out. And there are plenty of them in the early area, so make sure not to miss them out. And probably one of the most important part is actually that you can get aspects. When you do one dungeon, you unlock the Codex of Power aspects, which become available for you. And then you can, depends on your class and the specific dungeon, you can get aspects for your specific class. And once you go to an NPC called the Occultist, you'll have the option to imprint it into a gear. You can see here the Codex of Power, and you can see the different ones give you unique type of abilities and type of increased stats. But again, some of them of course are specific for certain classes, so make sure to check it out as well. And there are different categories for them: defensive, offensive, resource, utility, and mobility. Now I recommend playing with near others or preferably in a party, because again 5% or 10% extra XP respectively. Now make sure you participate in the Ashava World boss fight. This is the highlight of the open beta, a huge boss, very deadly. And this is the dead is going to spawn. You're actually going to see notification, and you have like 30 minutes at this time after, and after that is going to start. So you have plenty of time to prepare. Recommended damage resistant fire and poison, preferably fire. Again, make it if you can make it high. That's why actually other people told me. And because you can see he has fire, and also put some ponds of poison on the ground, and it's better to stick actually close to his back legs. And I was actually staying far, and I died a lot. You can stay far if you are ranged, by the way, but he has a big 360 AoE. It can really eliminate you very fast. This is the location on the map where my end is. That's where it is. So make sure to visit this area. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can also revive your teammates. So alright, so you just get close to them, you can revive them. But even if you die, you can respawn close by. Just a few seconds, you're back into the fight. So don't worry about that. If nobody revives you, just respawn and go back. Or do you have durability penalty still? Go back and continue fighting. As long as you do lots of damage, you do well, you're gonna finish him. The recommended level, by the way, is 25 and above. So again, if you have lots of level 13 and something like that, probably you won't be able to finish it. But if you are a group around 23, 24, 25, there's a good chance you'll be able to defeat this boss. Now there are also what called zone events, or I think legion events. This is one of them. As you can see, it's marked on the map, and other players can actually participate in it. So it's basically designed for a group of players, not just one. If you try alone, you probably won't be able to finish it. It doesn't happen frequently, so if you see it, make sure you go there. It might be already active, so you can see here it's already active, so I'm just joining here, and this is really a big kind of fight and take a place in a relatively large area. So again, just help others who are participating there, and again expect of course better loot compared to the smaller events, and of course more XP as well. There are also lots of enemies, and this is also contributes to you getting more XP. Usually at the end is going to be kind of a big enemy. This is a Blood Bishop, and you can see here we are finishing it and we are getting good loot. It's a party, lots of loot, as you can see, XP, gold. Make sure to do that, really, it's very rewarding. Now if you want to get legendary and fast, you're going to find these Murmuring Obols. Alright, if you see this and don't know what to do with them, do all the kind of stack up and you can actually carry, there is a merchant which you can actually exchange this in order to get the chance to get a legendary. You can get other type of rarities, but if you do it quite a few times, there's a good chance you're going to get. This is one of them. Purveyor of Curiosities, all right? And if you go there, there's going to be a merchant, and if you talk with this merchant, you're going to say this, all right? So there's a cost, and if you get something, you get a chance to get rare, something different rarity. But if you try enough times, this is by the way the currency, the amount that I have right now, so I can change it. Make sure to choose something that you actually good for you, all right? So it fits, its class, it's going to be for your specific class, so don't worry about that. This is whispering key as well for unlocking a chest. So if you see a chest, this is the key, this is the key. So if you buy something, it will be for your class, but again, you're not guaranteed to get a legendary. But I tried it several times, and it didn't take me long to get one. So as you can see, this is the moment that I got legendary. Just a few tries and I got it. So make sure to give it a try as well. Now there's also something that's called extremely rare monster. I don't think it's actually extremely rare. There's quite a few players actually get it. But when you look at the map, I don't think you can see it. But if you look at the top right, well, right now I put a point, but there's really a shiny. You're going to see something shiny, kind of glowing. And this is a rare enemy that spawns. And when you defeat this enemy, it's going to drop a guaranteed certain weapon. Depends, of course, on which one. There are several of them. This is one of them. A specific weapon. This is very, very good and also looks really cool. So here I got something for my rogue. So for this boss, it was the Dark Spade. It's very, very, by the way, very, very good, and also looks really cool. Kind of, kind of fiery, like, it looks nice. Yeah. So make sure to search for this. If you see something glowy on the map, mini-map, go there and check it out. Now, one of the most challenging things is going to be capturing a stronghold. Here I already defeated the boss in the stronghold. I needed to do different things. It's empty right now, but once you finish it, you're going to unlock this area. Instead of this stronghold zone that was captured by monsters, it's going to change. You're going to be NPCs there and that I can interact with. And basically, this is a tougher challenges with higher level monsters, but again, it's rewarding for you, will reward you accordingly. So when I finish this stronghold conquered, this is Malnock, and as you can see here, instead of nothing, now there are NPCs, the little town there, which NPCs that I can interact with. So I'm just going to show you also the location on the map, if you want to see exactly where it's located. You're going to see kind of, you see the red zone there marked on the minimap, so you know there's something there happening. But this is the location on the map where you need to go. This is this particular stronghold. You're going to see a big enemy there. This is the boss that you will eventually be fighting, but is actually chained, and you need to defeat certain enemies in order to unlock him. Yeah, so it's just a view of this is the boss. He can attack you right now, but eventually you will need to fight him. Now make sure to search for altars of Lilith. These altars are spread around Sanctuary. You're going to find quite a few of them, and they give you a permanent boost to the core stats of all characters on the Eternal Rim. And it might be hidden, by the way, so just you can be in an area where I'm not going to go there, just a little piece of land, there's nothing there, it might be there, so make sure to check every corner. Now if you see something that is unlocked for you in the town, this means that it's not ready for you. For example, the jeweler, once you reach level 20, you're going to find there's no more NPC you can interact with, and then you can actually craft gems and embed gems in your gear and extract gems. So if you don't see everything available for you, it's because you need to get to a higher level in order to unlock them. So be patient and grind a bit. So if, for example, I got to level 20 and I unlock the jeweler. And by the way, one other reason you want to get to level 20 is because you're going to unlock the Wolf Pack. And it won't be available, by the way, for you during the game, only after the game is released. And there are also 2 titles you're going to get. One for reaching level 20, other one for reaching Kyovashad. So just so you know, you won't be able to see them in the beta. You only get them after the game is released by doing these things in the beta, open beta or the early access. But again, now it's the open beta, so make sure. Now, if you ask me for a recommendation, which class would be easier for you, based on my experience, the Sorcerer will be the easiest one for you to play if you're willing you. Make sure to check out the lighting. It's very, very strong. Auto zapping to enemies. The lighting skills are very, very powerful. If you play with the Rogue, I recommend playing with melee. It's a very, very strong one, especially if you focus on the in build that increases your crit chance and synergies. Now the Sorcerer has a skill called Flame Shield that gives you immunity. And if you go with the modifier Elemental Attunement, Lucky Hit, Quicker Strikes have a 5 chance to reset cooldown or one of your defensive skills can only happen once every 10 seconds. And for me, even without optimizing, it happens so frequently. And basically, if you optimize for it, you can actually spam this shield and become immune for so long. I can't wait to see it in higher levels when the game comes out, but it just appears totally broken. So Flame Shield is very strong because of immunity. It also cleans you, and you can really get it pretty often. So if you're playing the Sorcerer, make sure to check it out. You can also see it here. When I'm activating it, I activate, now I'm playing, look at that, when the reset comes. I'm immune again, and I can use it again. I'm not using, but I can. It's just crazy. Sorcerer, check this one out. Now, if you're new to Diablo and you see little creature, make sure to catch up with it. It's called Treasure Goblin, this one. And it actually gives you lots of loot, it drops gold as well, and it's a bit harder to catch. Make sure to continue hitting him and try to eliminate him as fast as possible before he disappears. If you do so, it's gonna reward you with, well, lots of good drops. And by the way, regarding gold, if you're gonna salvage your gear, don't salvage it for gold. You're gonna get plenty of gold. Always salvage it for resources at the blacksmith. I mean, really, gold is really abundant in this game. So again, make sure to salvage, get resources. They'll be much more useful for you. Another thing I recommend is switching to tier 2 world, by the way, because it's more rewarding. It's going to be harder, but not that hard. By the way, you can see here the sword that from the rare monster that I'm holding. It's kind of fiery. So switch to tier 2. And again, none of them are really hard, although you get less resistance, but overall, both of them are quite easy. But again, the tier 2 is just more rewarding. And if you look at the top right, near the time, you can actually see 2, right, in circle. This is the tier 2, all right? So we can actually change it. So again, I recommend doing 2, unless, again, you're a very beginner and just want to kind of check things out and you don't want something a bit more challenging, stay with 1. Other than that, check out also challenges that you complete that can reward you and also maybe enable the advanced tooltips in the settings, because this will allow you to see more of the stats in the game. When you're comparing items, for example. And another thing I recommend is just not spending your skill points on just many skills. Try to invest also in modifiers, in extension of the skill to make them more powerful and have better synergies, because otherwise you won't be that powerful. So maybe, I mean, sometimes you can do that and just have fun, shoot many skills. You can always do reset, by the way. This option to reset, it doesn't cost a lot of gold. So if you want to reset, get the points back and respec, you can do this without a problem. Again, it doesn't cost a lot of gold. So this is it. I hope you found this one useful. If I have more, I'm going to share it in the comment section below, more tips. And yeah, give a like if you do it and subscribe. And if you want some really cool builds, very, very strong builds, I mean very strong, make sure to check out my build playlist on my channel. And yeah, before the open beta, so you can be ready if you are playing, especially when you're playing Rogue and Sorcerer. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cheers.